As ideas or thoughts enter your mind, allow them to float away without attachment. Now listen to the world that exists inside you. Hear the clattering of your mind, the constant talking to ourselves. See the patterns and habits of the mind, planning, calculating, judging, comparing, worrying. Note that when your thoughts dwell on memories, reliving them over and over like an addiction to thought. Note when your thoughts chase after the future, attempting to control time by planning and hoping. Allow yourself to let all that thinking go just for a moment. Reassure yourself that even if you quit thinking just for a few moments, it will be okay. Give yourself permission to love this moment without calculating what you could be doing instead. Encourage yourself that you deserve this time out from the hectic life you lead and the overthinking you may be accustomed to. Your breathing is unstrained. Breathe in faith, breathe out doubt. Relax your toes and feet. Relax your ankles and knees. Relax your leg muscles. Your breathing is deep and satiating. Relax your fingers and hands. Loosen up your wrists and elbows. Release any tension you might still have in your shoulders and neck. Your breathing is calm and peaceful. Feel your feet and legs get heavy and warm. Feel this warmth gravitate throughout your entire body. Simply breathe as your thoughts come and go. There is only the music, my voice, and your breath. Let go of any tension that remains in your body as it falls into a state of quiet connectivity. Unclench your jaw. Relax your face and tongue. Your heartbeat is serene and steady. Recognize and honor each heartbeat as an act of faith. There is a deep and confident knowing within that your brain and body are working in harmony to complete this vital bodily function. Without effort, without strain, mentally say to yourself, "For this and so much more, I give thanks." Your heart beats faithfully as you release all doubt. Your breathing is relaxed. Your mind is void of all thoughts. Your abdomen is soft and warm. Your limbs are heavy and warm. Watch your thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. Your hands are warm, your forehead is cool, and your breathing is deep and relaxed. Feel your breath sink lower and lower into your lungs. As your shoulders drop, feel your breath in the upper part of your chest. You are calm and peaceful. Your breathing is deep, satisfying, and relaxed. Empty your lungs totally with each breath. Hear the silence grow as your mind hushes. You are comfortable, serene, and centered. Your heart rate and breathing are calm and steady. You have nowhere to be and nothing to do but enjoy the quiet. It is now time to start bringing your attention back to the room. So slowly begin to return. Let your breathing guide you back. Gently take a couple of deep breaths. Pause for just a moment, focusing on your breath. Remember one last time that you can return to this place anytime you wish. It may only be for a moment, but it will remind you of the sense of peace that is yours. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Feel the goodness of the meditation for a few moments and carry this sensation throughout your day. Namaste.
Good morning. We'd like you to stand and join us for our morning Psalms, One Big Family, and we're going to go right into, I almost forgot, we come together. And that's what we're doing, coming together. And join me in singing, please. Get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we come to be. We are love, we are one, one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet, see the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Person next to you, say God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Hey, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we'll unite. In honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together in the name. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together in the name of. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of love.
Well, welcome everybody. As you can see, we have the little big band, big love band today. It was a perfect storm of everybody needing the same Sunday off. And I got to tell you guys, these guys were so willing to do whatever it took so that we had music going on here today. So when we were here for rehearsal on Thursday, we were talking about what to do. Should we get a guest musician in? Should we record tracks, which we actually did. We had the full band was here on Thursday for rehearsal. And so we recorded some background tracks of the full band together. And then as we're listening to the background tracks back there, deciding if we think it's going to work and how we're going to pull it off, these three just started singing together by themselves. And we went, well, that sounds awesome. It really does. So thank you, thank you. And it was brought to my attention on Thursday that you all may never have met Matt. Matt is our new drummer. Matt has been coming to the center for several months before we shut down. He's been here several times. And he came in one night, and he's in school to learn how to do the soundboard. And he said, I can help you with the soundboard. I know you've been having struggles with that. I'm like, yay! And he had a pair of drumsticks with him. I'm like, you play drums? And he said, yeah. He said, as long as Reverend David, whenever he wants to play, he tells me, and I'm very willing to release it back to Reverend David whenever he wants. And he said, but I'd really love to play with you guys. So Matt has been a huge blessing. Thank you for being here, Matt. Brian is back. And that happened during the break as well. So we have Brian back on bass. It's so wonderful to have you back, Brian. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And then, of course,
I'm just happy to be here all the time.
Mr. Johnny is happy to be here all the time.
I'm a fixture on the wall.
Yes, you are. Thank heavens for that. So we have a little big love band that's full of big love. So we have bass-centered songs today. You know, our normal ones, and then the special coming up is really cool. One of John's favorite and one of Brian's favorite to play with John. So you have something to look forward to in just a minute. So wherever you are on your spiritual path, you are so welcome here at the Center for Spiritual Living. We believe that we are co-creators with the divine and that you can simply change your entire life by changing your mind. Now, our founder is Ernest Holmes, but we study lots of people, contemporary people, that actually teach the same thing. If any of you guys caught my recording on Facebook yesterday, I was actually quoting from a book that was written in 1925. 1925. On our Facebook page, if you're not involved, just check out Facebook. Go to Center for Spiritual Living Cape Coral. It's a group, and you just request to become part of the group, and we let you write in, no questions. And every day there's a reading and a prayer from one of our practitioners. So if you're not in that group, I highly suggest you join it. But this reading was just fabulous. 1925. But we also study contemporary people like Deepak Chopra, like Don Miguel Ruiz. And in fact, Mel, who is leading our meditation today, is going to be starting a book study around the Four Agreements very shortly. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be fun. And so there's lots of things that we study here at the center, old, new, and all of it pointing to the same thing, that God is all there is and that we are powerful, even more powerful than we can ever imagine. So prayer requests, since we're not doing paper at the moment, prayer requests and contact information, if you'd like to get put on our e-blast, please visit our website at cslcapecoral.org and fill out the contact sheet. Let us know that you'd like to stay in touch. That's also where you can put in a prayer request, a digital prayer request. So please do that. Now, as we start out every celebration, we're going to bestow a blessing on each other, on you guys at home. And so I invite you to stand. All right, hold up those hands of power, as Vicki always says. Let's say together, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We know who you truly are. You are the spiritual image and likeness of God. We appreciate you, we love you, and we are thankful you are here. Welcome to the center. All right, John, let's get going with that beautiful song.
Oh, stand tears just as long as you stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. And darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
Good morning. My name is Patrick O'Brien, and I am a licensed practitioner here at the center. Thank you. And it's my honor to be bringing you the reading and the prayer. Today's reading comes from Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, and it's on page 158. Since faith is a quality unconfined to age or station, it may be ours today as much as it has ever been any man's at any time. We are not going through a harder time today, a longer or darker night than has ever been experienced before. It only seems darker because we have lost faith, the beacon of light. If one will have faith in himself, faith in his fellow man, in the universe, and in God, that faith will light the place in which he finds himself. And by the light of this faith, he will be able to see that all is good. And that light shed by his faith will light the way for others. We become conscious of the darkness only when we are without faith. For faith is ever the light of our day, the light on our way, making that way clearly visible to us. Even when to all others, it may be beset with obstacles and the ongoing rough. So let's take these words into prayer. Knowing there is only one thing going on, that one thing is good, that one thing is God. It's that faith of God that we find our unity. And it's in that unity that the perfection of the light of God glows in our heart. And that light that glows in our heart lights our way, lights our world, and removes any doubt, any fear, any obstacle in our way. And it's that light that we carry that is seen by others that spreads. And as it spreads peace. It spreads love. It spreads understanding. So be that light for yourself, for others, and just light the way. And this world too shall be shed with light. And it's with great gratitude, knowing these words, I can release these words back into the one mind who has already taken care of it all for us. It is done. It is here. It is now. It is peace. It is love. It is light. And I anchored these words into the one mind by saying, and so it is. And it's my pleasure to introduce and bring our own Rev Shell to the stage.
Thank you. What a treat. 2 new practitioners up here today. Woohoo! Well done, guys. All right. So the talk title today is, Do You Have Faith or Are You Had by Faith? Which, when I read that in the notes, I went, that's kind of a bizarre talk title. I wasn't quite clear on what I could do with it, what it meant, and I read all the notes. So I looked up, there we go, to be had. So to be had by faith, to be tricked or fooled by somebody. So we might reword the title, Do you have faith or are you fooled by faith? Well, that made me think about again, what does that mean? Do I have faith or am I fooled by faith? And somewhere in the notes, there was something about how we should have faith in God, not faith of God. And the notes expressed an idea of God is not a person or a thing, so God doesn't have faith. How can we have the faith of God? We need to have faith in God and build that faith. But it's an interesting thing that Holmes actually addresses this in the Science of Mind textbook. And he actually says quite the opposite of what the notes said. Quite the opposite of what the notes said. Here's what Holmes says. The faith of God is very different from faith in God. The faith of God is God, and somewhere along the line of our spiritual evolution, the transition will gradually take place where we shall cease having faith in and shall have faith of. Well, that's very different than what the notes said, eh? The notes were indicating that we should build our faith in, and Holmes is saying that if we keep evolving, there will be a transition that takes place where we shall cease having faith in and have faith of. This is one of those lines in the Science of Mind textbook that has always baffled me. And it's been explained to me many times, but this time I decided to think on it all week. I decided to take it into prayer. I decided to take it into meditation, and I actually get it. I think I understand where Holmes is coming from. Years ago, Reverend Linda Dolan, who was the first minister, I talk about Reverend Linda and Reverend Brian. They were the first ministers here when I arrived here. And Reverend Linda Dolan told a wonderful story, a marvelous story. And I searched the internet for the real story on this so that I could give you facts, and I could not find it anywhere. So this is based on my memory of the story, and it was told to me in 2004. But it had such impact, it's still of great import to me now. Okay? So it goes like this. There was a group of kids that physically should have been able to walk. And because of something that happened to them emotionally or psychologically, they were not able to walk without the aid of crutches or some of them were actually in wheelchairs. So there was a group of physical therapists that got together and said, we have to show these kids that they have the ability, that their mind is getting in the way, but their body is not. And so they decided to devise ways to build the courage of these kids so that they would start walking. So where they started was they built like holders that had poles on them so that the kids could walk between the poles and hold on to the poles and learn how to walk that way. They'd be supported by the poles through the entire walk, right? Now, it took quite some time for the kids to even just stand up and hold on to the poles. But eventually they did. They stood up and they held on to the poles. And then gradually they'd take a step. And then with some more training and encouragement, they'd take another step. and more training and encouragement, another step. Until one day they started walking through those two poles and getting from one side to the other. And then they learned to turn around and come back through the poles, one step at a time, one leg at a time, slowly. So this took weeks, months for them to build up the courage and to feel supported by those poles. But once they knew that the children felt supported by the poles, they wanted to increase the challenge for them a little bit and get them closer to independence. So they took the two poles, and instead of being on either side of the kids like this, they strung them into one straight line. And so it went across the whole entire room, this row of poles. And they had the kids hold on here, and the kids, of course, were really scared to hold on to just one pole. So the physical therapists helped them by holding on to their hands and walking with them. And it took, again, weeks and months for them just to take a single step. But after a while, they took a single step, and then they took another step, and then they took another step. And they were holding tightly to the hand, and then holding loosely to the hand, and then dropping the hand. And they were supported by that pole, and they made it across the room. And they turned eventually and walked back across the room, holding on to the poles. So once they got competent at that, the physical therapist knew it was time to change it up again. So they removed the poles, and they strung a rope, a very thick, heavy rope. Now, that's not going to be as stable as the poles. But the kids knew they could make it across, and now they're building their chops a little bit. They're gaining some confidence, right? So they string this very thick rope, one side of the room to the other. And the kids held on for dear life to that rope, and it was not sturdy, it was not stable. But again, the physical therapist started out with them holding on to their other hand, and they learned to walk across holding on to that rope, and they learned to turn and walk back across, and they learned to less grip over here, and they learned to let their hand fall and to do it by themselves, and they learned to walk with that rope. So once they became competent again, the physical therapist knew it was time to change it up again. So they decreased the width of the rope. They went to about half the width of the rope. So it was still quite a heavy rope, and it was still going across the whole room. And now the kids are learning a little bit faster. They're gaining more confidence. So they held on to the rope all the way across. Physical therapists here at first, and then eventually learned. You get the idea. So they kept decreasing the width of the rope. They went from something, very big and sturdy to about, quarter, down a quarter, down another quarter, down another quarter. They got down to like a jump rope size, or like a laundry, what do you call that? Clothesline, thank you. Clothesline size. And the kids were gaining more confidence, but they needed to have that rope. And of course, if they can walk across holding loosely to a clothesline, they can walk. But they don't think that they can. They think it's the clothesline that's doing the work, right? So the physical therapist got it down to a fishing line. A fish line strung across that room. And the kids could hold on to the fish line and walk, but as soon as they let go of the fish line, they felt they couldn't walk anymore. Well, the physical therapists were baffled because of course they could. It's a fishing line. It's not holding them up. And then one of them came up with this splendid idea. And they took the fish line and they cut it into pieces. And they put a piece of that fish line into each of the kids' hands. And as long as they were holding on to that fish line in their hand, they could walk. So Linda that day, Reverend Linda that day, gave us each a piece of fish line to remind us that we're always supported. And I had that fish line sitting on my desk for years and years. And it reminded me that I was supported. To me, that, though, is a reflection of a faith in God. This fishing line is doing the work. I'm not. It's not coming because I've got it in here. It's coming from this thing. We often put God out there. And we have faith in something that's outside of us because that, and it's we were raised this way. Most of us were raised in traditional religion where God is outside of us, where spirit does exist outside of us, and we have to beseech and act or ask and act in a particular way, or things are not going to go well for us. And it's because God is out there. Faith in God, faith in something that is outside of us. It's this something, this fish line, this God thing that is either granting wishes, not granting wishes, that is making things move forward, holding things back. And it's the idea that it doesn't come through us, by means of us. So what does faith of look like? I keep using the electric switch as an example, and I'm going to continue to do that right now. We have faith of electricity. We have faith of electricity. In other words, electricity flows. We know that. We know that electricity flows through circuits and wires and lights and such, and that switches that we turn on and off, consciously turn on and off, conduct that flow. Faith of electricity to flow. And we get to choose where it's flowing and how it's flowing by use of switch and plugs, right? So we have faith of electricity. If the electricity isn't flowing, we don't get down on our knees in front of the switch. Oh, forgive me. What did I do wrong? Oh, jeepers, I must have said the wrong thing. I must have done the wrong thing. That does not happen. Because we have faith of electricity that it flows no matter what we do. And if there's a problem in the circuitry. There's a problem with the light bulb. There's a problem with the connection. There is no difference between that and the role of spirit with us. So our challenge is to move from the faith in God of our upbringing to faith of God that I'm introducing right now. I get what he's saying. The faith of God is God. We are it. We are it. We are God in form, here to express as much godliness as we can. That's why we chose to come into this. What a blessing. What a blessing that we came here. We are a blessing to this world if we let it be so. We are a blessing to this world. So, why does this matter? Why does it matter to have faith of God as opposed to have faith in God? The first way, life happens to you, not through you. Life happens. Michael Beckwith would say that's the bottom rung, right? To me, through me, as me, is me. For the 4 rungs of spirituality, according to Michael Beckwith. To me. Life is happening to me. Oh, woe is me. It's victim mentality. It's looking at life saying, all this, I had nothing to do with this. None of my decisions created this. I am a victim. Victim mentality. Through me is when we figure out that we can do things like, if we think about a parking spot being at the front of the store, it's there. It's the place where we start to experiment with these principles and see them at work in our life. And we play with that. So through me. As me, we start to realize that we're here for a purpose. And we start to turn within a little bit more and try to understand what that purpose is and let it reveal itself as our life. And once it's revealing itself as our life, is me. Beautiful, isn't it? Love those. the 4 levels of spirituality, Michael Bernard Beckwith. Beautiful stuff. So why does this matter? You know, I've been doing a book study. Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukav is the book study. We have 3 weeks left. 16-week class, 3 weeks left. It's been a wonderful book, a wonderful journey. And chapter 1, and in the intro, Mel's laughing, she knows where this is going. Chapter 1, in the intro, my favorite line of the whole entire book. When the personality comes fully to serve the energy of its soul, that is authentic empowerment. When the personality comes fully to serve the energy of the soul, that is authentic empowerment. And Gary says the soul is that within us that is linked to spirit, to God, to the whole entire universe. Our personality is the way that we show up. It includes this body. It includes the body of our experiences. It includes our history. It includes our family history. All that is the personality. And our soul chose this personality so that it could show up in a particular manner. All of our gifts were given to us so that soul, God, could show up in a particular manner. So when we start to lean into what naturally feels good for us, for me that would be creativity. It would be doing stuff like I'm doing right now. I love doing this. This is so much fun. Painting, drawing, photography. That's part of how God shows up as shell. And I know it's in support of something, and the older I get, the closer I'm getting to figuring out what that is. Maybe. I hope so. I know I'm happy, so to me, that's a sign I'm on the right track. Right? So when the personality comes fully to serve the energy of its soul, that is authentic empowerment. And that's when we live in joy. That's when we live in peace. That's when we live in God. That's when we live in spirit. So this idea of in, or let's go back a couple slides here. Faith in God is very different than the faith of God. Let us cultivate a faith of God, that it is right where we are in its entirety. There is a power in this universe, and we can use it, David always says, Reverend David, doesn't he? There is a power in the universe, and we can use it. Faith of God. So, of course, the question on everybody's mind, what would Ernest Holmes say? This reading is from 10 Ideas That Make a Difference by Ernest Holmes. And it goes like this. If our acts, ACTS, if our acts, as they must, spring from our inward thoughts, then it follows that if we change our thoughts, we will change our acts. Isn't that a great sentence? I could just stop right there. I won't, but isn't that a great sentence? If our acts, I can't say that right. ACTS, okay, acts, as they must, spring forward from our inward thoughts, then it follows that if we change our thoughts, we will change our acts. That is, we shall be introducing a new causative factor, a new use of the law into our lives. But if we would do this, we must first learn to believe and to love. Miracles are natural. I think I need to make a t-shirt that says that. Miracles are natural. Every manifestation of faith through prayer, every wonder and sign which has followed the devotional life has been an inevitable result of some hidden cause set in motion by the life principle, Spirit. Every longing and yearning we have ever had, every secret desire of our soul, and every constructive ambition we have had is but a whispering of this power, assuring us that we are one with it, that we are a manifestation or a personification of it, that we are a center in it. What a powerful statement. I'm going to read that again. Every longing and yearning we have ever had, every secret desire of our soul, and every constructive ambition we have had is but a whispering of this power, assuring us that we are one with it, that we are a manifestation or personification of it, that we are a center in it. How beautiful is that? If we take time daily to sense the presence of life within us, believe in it, and accept it, it will not be long before this life which we have known until now will gradually disappear. Something new and wonderful will be born, a bigger, better, and more perfect life. We shall pass from sadness into happiness, from lack and want into greater freedom, and from fear into faith. And from a sense of being alone and isolated in the universe, we will realize that we are one with all life, and we will rejoice in this oneness. How brilliant is that? Isn't that beautiful? So how about we take this into prayer? So taking a moment to turn within, knowing together there is a power and presence. It is everywhere, and it is right where we are. It is everything, and it is who we are. We are indeed a personification of the one, of Spirit, of God. We are it. And it is embodied by each of our personalities. We are the embodiment of Spirit. Right here, right now. We always have been. We always will be. So right now, let us cultivate an opening for Spirit to have its way with us. I know the truth for each one, that there is an opening right here and now for love, for joy, for peace, to pour forward and create a life greater than each one has ever dreamed. I know the result of understanding these principles, of just being here and hearing it today, something has shifted in the universe. And that there is more love, more joy, more peace, more abundance of all kinds, more health, greater drive, greater focus, to a greater yet to be, where our personalities indeed are in support of our soul. As Patrick indicated, there's more love and light in this world than ever before. And it's only because we've had this time together today. So I'm grateful for these openings. I'm grateful for the outpicturings of good and God that are the result of this prayer. And in this gratitude and open receptivity, I release my word into law. I know it is done. And if you're in agreement with me, I invite you to anchor this by saying, and so it is. So be it. All right.
Whew, you take our breath away, Rev Shell. And you are so aptly named. I mean, think about it. Rev. She revs up our spirit. And Shell. I mean, this is Florida. People go on the beach and they collect shells. Well, we happen to have the best, most special shell. It is true. It is true. That I know. Hi, I'm Kay Atwood, and I'm a member of the Leadership Council. And I'd like to tell you about some of the ways that we distribute your generous donations to the center. Every quarter, a different organization is selected to benefit from your donations of money, or tithe, as we say. It's distributed weekly and it's local. Those organizations are the Cape Coral Caring Center that distributes food and clothing to the needy, Hearts and Homes for veterans, Cape Coral Police, children's programs, and human trafficking prevention. And then, of course, a percentage of your tithe is used for operational expenses here as well. And there are many ways that you can donate. You can text to 239-320-3820. You can use the donate button on our website, cslcapecoral.org. Use PayPal, which is paypal@cslcapecoral.org. Or you could mail a check to Center for Spiritual Living, 406 Southeast 24th Avenue, Cape Coral, Florida, 33990. You could set up an automatic withdrawal from your checking account, weekly or monthly. And then I'm sure you love to, this is not an ad for Amazon, but we all use Amazon, I think, a lot. Anyway, my husband does. and they do a lot of good for the environment. Anyway, if you go to smile.amazon.com and select CSL as your charity of choice, we get a portion of your purchase. So there are so many ways to support the center that feeds your soul. And there are containers as you leave, with these new COVID procedures. There are containers on each side of the exit door. And if you have something today to give, then please do so. Now, would you put your hand over your heart or hold your tithe in your hand? And I'd like to speak a blessing. With appreciation and love, we accept these offerings and gifts. Divine love, through us, blesses each gift and giver. We know that all that has been given here circulates to do great works, both within the spiritual CSL community, Cape Coral, and the world at large. Standing in gratitude, I release these words, so please join me in saying, and so it is.
Okay, well done. Very well done. Okay, announcements. Midweek tune-up continues Wednesdays at noon. It has been requested that we do midweek tune-up outside this week. A few people have said they'd be more comfortable sitting outside masked than inside, so that's great, and so we're going to give it a shot. It will still be online as well, so if you've been joining us online for midweek, that will be available, and we will be outside as well. Weather permitting, I should say. If it's stormy outside, we won't be outside. But weather permitting, we will be outside as well. That's noon on Wednesdays. You can join us anytime. Exit reminder, the ushers will be coming around letting you know so we can exit in an orderly manner. So meet me at the door. Give me an elbow bump on your way out today of the sliders here at the side of the room. And now it's time to stand in the light. When we stand in the light, we stand knowing the truth about a situation, what we want to see in a situation. So I am standing in the light for each one watching this celebration of life today, I know that we have been opened up to a greater version of ourselves, and I'm standing in that light for that to emerge with grace and ease and joy and fun and love. If you are online, please write what you are standing in the light for in the comments, or go ahead online to cslcapecoral.org and send us a prayer request. I'm standing in the light for all the unspoken prayers. Let's know together that there is a healing revealing going on right here, right now, that each request has been received, amplified, heard, and the truth of every situation is being revealed as I speak my word. Good and more good is the result of all that has gone on here today, and for this and so much more, I am grateful. I let it be, and so it is.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let peace, we let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let joy wash over us. Yeah, we let it be. We let love wash over us, watch over and over us, yeah. Oh, we let it be. We let love wash over us, watch over and over us. Oh, we let it be. Thank you very much.